Alex.
Yes?
Alex, you're a brat.
Yes. Hey guys, guess what? Those are all time, boys and girls. Okay. Man, everyone feels safe tonight. Are we all dead tonight?
Kinda.
A little bit,
Shit.
yeah.
Oh, long day?
Just a weird day.
Yeah.
Stressful day, but yeah.
Sorry to hear that. Hopefully we can take out that stress on orc faces in Dwarven Booty.
I mean, fingers crossed.
I think everyone's here, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good to go now, whenever you guys are.
Okay. 1 second. What? Okay, totally good. I think Khalgrast is here. Oh, you want to change your name in Discord too? As well as in-game. Change your names. Change your names. Change your names.
I think he wants us to change our names, guys.
Oh yeah, we leveled up, didn't we?
I mean,
Depends.
depends.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I leveled up. I don't remember if I actually did it last week. I'm going to assume I did.
Count your traits.
One, two, three, four. I think you're missing 2 traits. No. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. I think you have it. I think you've done everything correctly. In which case, if there are any questions about character stuff, we can continue from where we left off.
Let me check.
Here we go. Okay.
Okay, should be ready.
So, where did we last left off our intrepid adventurers?
Well, the dwarves said that they would actually help out if the elves turned over Khalgrast.
Oh yes, that's true.
Which we didn't do.
Yeah, I remember we left off the scene of everyone with Wesley and Alma kind of in a kind of abandoned room right now. One of the rooms not destroyed in the previous siege. It's like a nice warm camp hearth there. About 8 beds in a row. You're reading the
Thought we
letter.
were going to do it and we're just going to teleport away.
Possible, but you guys got the missive from the dwarves, and the reason why they did it so quickly is because they have dwarven purifier magic. Makes it easy for them to transmit messages to and fro, especially if they're on dwarven lands. So, in which case, dwarves have a knack of kind of getting to places where they're not meant to go, or getting to places really quickly. As Khalgrast would know. He ended up halfway across the continent.
No, don't worry, Khalgrast will get that ability very soon.
So, what do you guys do?
I think I also responded to the dwarves by invoking my name as well.
Yeah, Von Baldric.
Made a big
Saying,
show doing that, yeah.
Yep. In which case, it is the morning after the crazy battle. You've been here, it's about 10 in the morning, and you had a plan. If you remember, if we go back to...
Yeah, we've been up for the past, 2 hours or so talking.
Yep. Let me back over here. You know that the purple X is the location of the shrine, and the blue X is where you wanted to teleport to, because a certain wizard in your party has that ability to.
Yeah, I do remember teleportation being part of the plan. I don't remember the plan.
Well, if you didn't remember the plan, time to make a new one.
No, I remember the basics of the plan.
Good.
The basics of the plan were that we were going to port in at the rear of their forces. Cause some trouble, as much trouble as we possibly can. And attempt to get the orcs' forces to, start moving and get them, in a bad position.
Very
And
likely.
while we were doing that, the elf forces were going to move in and get ready. Because we had to do all of this at once because we have, a week and it takes, 6 days to get there on foot.
Yeah.
So you're a bit of a tight schedule.
I remember that much.
So that's a possibility. The Windwalker commander, if you remember her name, was Vela. She says that there's a bit of a watchtower over there that you can use as sort of a forward operating base until people get into position, since you can move at a much faster pace than everyone else because of your crazy-ass teleporting abilities. So, it's up to you.
So, the plan of messing with the dwarven mines is still on the table, but we don't really have a leg to stand on with them, so we'd probably end up having to fight them if we tried to do that.
Yeah, we should probably just avoid them at all possible cost. At all.
And at this point, I'm actually sort of growing a little cold on the idea of destroying these altars, because they might also be important for something that I don't understand yet.
That's true.
So, Morgan, what do you think? What is your character wanting to do in all of this? Morgan Senpai?
I thought she was in agreement with the plan, actually.
Which one, specifically?
Because I thought we were still doing reporting in from behind, causing a disturbance, and letting the elf forces move in while the orcs were distracted.
That's very true. So, if that is your plan, then how are you guys going to promulgate their plan?
We should probably go talk to the captain, tell
Yeah.
him the plan, see if we can get them on board with it, move them away from using the dwarves.
All right. So, all of you kind of group up together, and almost with you guys, but Wesley just kind of says, "Go on ahead." He's going to do his own thing for a little bit. He's still very shaken with everything that's gone.
Well, he doesn't say it, does he, Alex?
He doesn't say it.
No, he doesn't
Probably
say
emotions.
it. Emotions.
I
Yes.
say accusingly at Alex.
Oh my god. He gestures that he will catch up with you guys later. Writing scripts in your general direction based off what he can hear. In which case, the party sets forth with Alma, and you go find Captain Bella.
No, I tell him we'll come back for you.
He gives you a bit of a half smile as you leave the room and go through the
We aren't going to abandon you!
Baldric being Baldric, and Wesley just seems like, yes, I understand. His facial expressions contorting to that of just beyond with it already.
All for one for all!
Oh my god.
Also,
So-
I really think we should just go. I think he gets.
And so with that, you notice down the hall, you see a familiar face, and that face being... Gotta get it back into this swing of things. Harry, if you remember Harry the Stark, the mercenary that you had recruited so long ago, and you have not paid him in a while.
I don't think we can really afford to continue paying
I thought we
him.
did actually pay him.
No, we did
Yeah,
pay
no, we
him. No, we paid him most recently when he asked for money, and he said if
Yeah.
he wanted to do that, this would be a lot of money. Honestly, if he wants to bow out, now's the time.
Yeah,
Very
it's
good.
very
At
good chat.
this point.
Does seem like he has his gear there, and he has his sword, and he has a travel pack and stuff, and kind of looks to the party and says, "You know, it's been a pleasure, but going behind about, I don't know, 7 million orcs is not really part of my job description.
It's a couple more than
crazy.
last time, yeah.
But not that crazy," he says, with all his gear. "I do appreciate you saving my ass out there, though, but probably gonna head back to Woodlands Row. You guys need me, I'll be there. There's a
Sure.
detachment of elves at the back. I'm gonna go with them."
You did well. I give him a hug. A manly hug.
He does not. He's like, no. I don't do hugs.
Does not
Too bad you're
reciprocate
getting a
He
manly
says that
Baldric
while
hug.
Baldric is hugging him. Yeah.
He tries to step away from it, but by then, it's that uncomfortable hug where someone swings their arm around the other person's shoulders. And Harry's a pretty tall dude. He's like 6'3", and Baldric is how tall is Baldric?
Baldric's probably like 6 feet or something like that.
Alright,
I feel like I
so-
wrote it down somewhere and I don't remember.
So you're hugging him, but he's just like there, and he's like, and he's like looking upwards to the sky or the ceiling and just groaning. Yes. Hug it out.
We'll miss you. You did so
Taliesin's just
well.
kind of grinning uncomfortably.
And he shrugs you off, and he looks at the party and says, "Well,
Baldric's
if
in your tears.
you need my services again, you know where to find me." And he gets his stuff, and he goes.
That was weird. Why are humans weird?
It's the short lives.
It's not
Definitely.
that. I think we have shorter lives. I mean, not naturally, but
In which case, what do you guys do now? Are you looking for the captain, correct?
yeah, we'll go into
Yeah.
the captain.
You head down the stone walls, and next to the walls is the large glass windows, most of which have been broken in by arrows or rocks or catapults or ballista fire over the course of the battle. And you see a very calm kind of sight outside to the forest. The battlefield's still littered with a innumerable amount of orc bodies, thanks to you guys, followed by several of the drowned and several of the smushed, thanks to a certain moon-wielding elf. All kind of scared about, and you see much of the rangers are currently scavenging right now, or collecting the bodies to burn or throw away, or to retrieve arrows and whatnot. It's a bit of a somber sight, but the party does notice that despite all this, it's still a very beautiful and picturesque kind of view, with the grass growing and the flowers blooming. Despite everything that is happening, though, it seems that the darkness that had crept over the Silver Forest for the most part is kind of pushed back by the river filled with stardust flowing through. As everyone groups together and they enter the main chamber, you see Captain Vela nervously biting on her thumb as she looks at at a battle map, or what are they called? The war room maps, like the whole area with large kind of wooden sculptures representing these armies of both orc and elf kind of pitted against each other. She is taking on this very difficult task of trying to save her people, despite everything that is going on.
Don't think they have a special name.
Pardon?
I don't think Does maps have a special name?
Alright, so they're just the war room then, with a large canvas that has everyone's location on it. The inner hand, though, you see another letter with, from the corner of your eye there, Khalgrast, a Dwarven insignia that has been opened. So
It has not been opened?
It has been opened. It's been read.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. I'll nudge Taliesin. I'm sure he noticed as well, but I want to make sure.
So, what do you guys say to her?
You look troubled, Captain. Is there
Sorry, hold on.
something this is
Yeah, somebody.
What is happening?
That is my very noisy neighbors. Anyways, go on.
Mhm.
You look troubled, Captain. Anything we can help you with?
Unless you can get me 30,000 army-ready troops.
Well, we have a bit of an idea of how to go about this. Kind of look over at Taliesin.
She seems nervous, but she listens nonetheless.
Taliesin actually, whenever you turn to him, has a look on his face, like he's thinking about something completely different all of a sudden, but, yeah, hold on. I take out, like, some of the stuff that I drew out last night while we were talking, and I lay out for her, like, the basic plan. It's, the main design is so that their forces do not, they basically have to encounter as little as possible, or at least if they do, they should be able to get the jump on people. I assume that the elves around here won't have trouble moving quietly through the woods.
Under normal circumstances, we would have the woods would be our home, but I'm not sure if you noticed, but the mist itself, the dark energies, you might have noticed it when you entered the forest for the first time.
Oh yeah, the
It's
stuff
been
in the
lingering
sky,
for
right?
a while. Yes, it's been lingering for a while, and unfortunately, it feels like they have eyes in there, and sadly, I don't believe the forest is our own anymore. We only have about 10,000 able-bodied troops with all the elves put together, and they have several more than us. There's only so much we can do, and guerrilla tactics can only get us so far.
Okay, but this part of the forest is still yours, right?
Yes, for the most part. We've dug ourselves in, at least holding off a few days of attacks, but they're growing more restless and more aggressive.
Hey, Alex.
Yes.
Would I be able to, using vials of the starlight water here in the spring, would I be able to arrange it so, they could take a piece of their home with them? Essentially what I want to do here, I don't want to make it to where, they'd be hidden, because obviously this would be an area where, whatever, you know, sorcerers or whatever the orcs have using this network to spy, they would be not able to see in that area. They'd be able to see, like, hey, there's something there that's moving that we don't know what it is. But they wouldn't be
I'm
able to
not
see
sure what
what
you're
it
asking
is.
me for.
Like Fog of War.
Okay.
Like a moving little bubble of Fog of War centered around the vial. You know, like it's sort of, I want to take that and empower it so that it can if, like, say a natural born, like, elven citizen who's born and raised here can tap into that connection to their home.
I think I get what he's actually planning for this one.
Yeah. I'm looking right now.
Yeah, and then we give one to each army, and then we send about 50 other people with them, or as many as I can make, and we spread them out.
On the subject of that, can I do that, but to a greater degree, considering that the water empowers my abilities?
Oh yeah, I mean, probably it's gonna be me helping you, but... Hey, you should ask me for advice. I want to remind everyone that that's a thing that I have.
Oh my god.
You get extra bonuses to it, and I mark experiences, please.
She kind of scratches her forehead and says, I wish I can give you a straight answer for that. Wait, no, you're asking me, the GM. Maybe
Yeah,
under the
that
right
seems sort of- does that make
circumstances.
sense? Yeah.
It makes sense. Under the right circumstances, you might be able to recreate something, but it's definitely going to be temporary.
Oh yeah.
You have to think of it like Starlight is not a infinite resource, especially when you try to encase it in a small vial.
Right.
They'll be
use it
able
up.
to, like, for example, like use it and it creates like a bubble, like a fog of war, like literally fog cloud. That's very feasible in order to make. But it wouldn't last a very long time. At most, it would last like 30 to an hour.
Oof.
So it's not something. See, if you can continue to make that resource and continue to churn it out, that's still like a full-time job. It's that's something that you could do with the water, but it's not something that you can just put it in a vial and forget about it.
Yeah, we'd need more people and processing time if we wanted to supply an army with it.
Yes, and considering there's only about 5 other people that can channel the Stardust, like Morgan can, and half of them have been corrupted. It's
Well, maybe Morgan has a better idea then.
Then why don't
Something
I
using
stay
using
with
that
them
idea, yeah.
permanently?
Was
Like,
that?
so what if Morgan goes with the elf group and stays with them?
Oh, you're splitting the party. Oh dear.
That's a bad idea.
Splitting the party.
I don't like doing that already.
I try, Captain.
That severely limits what we can get done on our end.
Yeah, I mean we count for a lot more than an elf.
And it still doesn't solve the problem of the Starlight. Like, you'd still be running through it. You would just be better at using it.
So, if you're trying to create those fog clouds, it would be more used as a way to retreat rather than as a way to attack.
Yeah.
Because you're also running under the assumption that the enemy doesn't have any way to counter that, and considering all the stuff that you see with the shamans and the magic and the corruption and the power of Shigaro.
Oh yeah, they could definitely counteract it, but it would work the first time, at the very least.
Yeah.
And maybe a couple of times after that. Depends on how long it would take them to figure it out.
These orcs definitely do seem organized. They're not like the savage that you're used to, especially those that have fought them before. They're kind of united under a banner right now, and that's what's caused them to not only like match their ferocity with tactics, but also they don't kill each other, or they aren't provoked as much easier anymore. They're just a lot smarter with what they do.
We could provoke, or we could push the prisoner for more information.
I mean, you could.
Maybe get some idea of that.
I mean, that'd be up to you. It's not exactly my strong suit.
I mean, not strong suit either.
But you're more
I
than
don't
welcome
think
to.
any of us is adept at torture.
Well, I don't think
That's-
anyone wants to torture the prisoner. I think people just wanted to ask them more questions.
Yeah, no.
And I don't think we really have a way of getting more questions out, or answers out of her, though.
It seems that Uriel, the prisoner, is very short-lived about what she wants to say at this point. She only just talks about the end days coming, and just pretty much psychotic, and very hard to talk to. Very hard to get a straight answer from.
Annoying, yes.
So, you're more than welcome to try talking to her, but I'm not sure what kind of information you'll get. So, with that, Captain Bella does scratch her chin and says, "There's another option, and you probably will not like it."
I mean, I don't like my current options, so...
I know what option she's gonna suggest.
Do you say that in character?
Yeah.
And she kind of sighs and says, yeah, you'd probably be right on that. You have a lot of enemies in the Iron Mountains, Khalgrast. Would it appear so?
What about it?
We're talking about my people here, Khalgrast. And sometimes I have to make a hard decision. It's essentially your life for the lives of my entire race.
It's a slide I won't forget, but it's your call to make.
They said, and she takes the letter that had been opened earlier by the with the dwarven insignia and tosses it over to the party. Pretty much similar to the earlier letter that you had received, but this time offering 20,000 dwarven battle-ready soldiers to join the fight to reclaim their homeland.
Hold on, would that even be enough?
I mean, it's more than nothing.
It's such a drop in the bucket compared to the orcs.
Still, it's quite impressive that Khalgrast is give you his life worth 20,000 soldiers, you know? They're willing to go through all that just to get your life.
You have no idea how much dwarves hate demons.
And she says, Bella continues, is that they would give me the troops in command if I give you to them.
When does the deal go down?
The deal, I hadn't accepted it yet, but I'll be honest, I'm very tempted.
Oh,
Well, more of when will they
can you
accept
give me to them
Khalgrast?
is the question.
And that's what I'm concerned about. Do I try? Because you're most likely going to resist. I do not want to lose any more of my men, so you can see I'm in a very tough position right now, Khalgrast. Either my men die from the orcs, or my men die from you.
I look to Taliesin. Well, Taliesin, what do you think? I'm asking for advice.
Yeah, Taliesin's got his arms folded and is frowning.
We can wait for.
No, we really can't. We're
No,
tight
she was-
enough on time already.
She's saying we can. I wish we could wait for other options. Ornstein troops, Knights of Grey Steel, even fighters from the common town would help us if we had asked. But the unfortunate thing is the dwarves are there, and they're ready. And
You guys wouldn't even have time to deliver Khalgrast to the dwarves.
Well, dwarves and elves around this area tend to travel very quickly. Expanses of underground tunnels, that's how they get in and out of the Silver Forest. Although, the last option is that after the fighting is done, I escort you myself to them. I have no idea what the politics are like in the Iron Mountains, but they do seem very, very intent on getting you back, Khalgrast.
Wait, what do you mean? Like, they made a stipulation at the end of the deal? I'm confused here.
No, she says that she can vouch, she can parlay with them, essentially saying,
Try to
after the
vouch.
fighting is done.
Oh, I see. I mean, regardless, I don't think the dwarves realize that without Khalgrast fighting, we're not going to win this anyway.
That's a point I can make.
They're just using this as a bargaining chip.
Yes,
oh, no,
they
I
are.
get it. They want to do this anyway. They're not stupid. There's a bunch of orcs living on top of them. I don't care how well defended your tunnels are, it's going to be nothing but problems. This is just convenient.
Very much so. So, what do you guys do?
Hey, Khalgrast.
Yes.
And I'll say out of character, since you were asking for advice, you trust me?
Oh, yeah. Every time I've said that, yes to that, good things have happened to me. Sort of.
Well,
So yeah.
I'm not going to turn you in, but I think I'm going to have
Oh,
a chat with the people in charge.
I'm super aware of that. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me out of your shot, so plausible deniability or whatever, but like, what do you want me to do?
I'm saying that I'll be coming down there with you,
Oh.
and we'll figure this
so
out.
Option 3 then. Okay.
Yep. I mean, if I was a little bit more confident in my ability to open portals, maybe we could bring more men from Morncia, but even that would take time to rally.
That would take time to rally, and the whole Lawrenceian politics, especially,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Baldric can kind of attest to that.
Like theoretically, I can do the super risky portal thing and potentially bring in more people, but getting a significant
Yeah.
number of people in the amount of time that's
Yeah,
needed is...
I mean, it's also another option.
I mean, I can still do that with one group, maybe. It's
Hey,
just
Alex.
risky.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, that
What's
was
up there, Morgan?
Roughly how far is this from... Jeez, I forgot the place that we came from.
The Common Towns? You specifically came from Wayward's Rest. About up here. It took you 6 months of a carriage to get down here.
No, I think before that, where the elf village was.
Oh, yeah, it's over here. That is Silverleaf. And they're close. It'll take about a day to get here.
Yeah, those were part of the armies that we were counting is already here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I have a certain something that's back there waiting.
What's that certain something waiting for you?
There's Onkeg back there.
That is very true. Oh, you're right.
We'll go back to pick up the
You do
baby.
have-
Roughly, how fast do Onkegs move underground?
Oh, absurdly fast.
Oh.
Oh.
That's a really good point. I mean, he's getting bigger.
Yeah, it's been a few days, and Onkegs grow very quickly. It's teenage Onkeg right now.
Oh yeah, he's molting.
not-
It's like what was like molting phase was coming up anyway. Yeah, so it's probably bigger. It's like the size of a horse now.
Yeah, and if you remember, you left them in a in a stable with all the other horses.
Yeah, that's a good fair point.
Those poor horses.
And I'm
Oh, they're
not
all best
talking
buds.
about just one.
Oh, what are you talking about? Are you talking about the
I need to
entirety of the
go-
Onkegs?
Absolutely. I need to go
Oh.
start
Are
talking.
you sure they're gonna go for that? They really. Wait. Oh, I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know.
they.
I don't know that.
Well,
I don't
no,
know
it's
that.
been 6 months though. It's been 6 months.
Yeah, but I don't know what their attitude was toward the whole idea because I didn't hear them speak, so I'm gonna shut up.
Very true. So
I know what I heard them speak.
Morgan can
Except for Morgan.
totally try. I mean, you'll have to port there, and you'll have to port back. So that's 2 rolls.
The
Yeah.
worst that they tell me is no.
No. The worst is that we end up stranded somewhere, completely unable to help anyone.
Yeah, don't forget.
I trust your magic ability.
Failing this rolls.
I give Morgan a long, hard look.
She gives you the most sincere look back.
Okay.
We can at least help you open the portal here.
I mean, if you use some of the stardust, you can maintain the portal for like a good 30 minutes.
And now, if you want to, if we want to make this one roll, if Alex wants to be kind, that's
Yeah,
cool too.
I'll be kind to this because I mean you are close to a very strong source of magic right now.
It's sort of technically a
gonna
ritual,
suggest that.
actually, but I mean, it's
Kindly.
just part of it is I'd have to cast the spell. Yada yada. I think the.
Mhm.
All right.
Also, a certain connection to a shadow realm, thanks to a certain connection to a certain connection because of a certain connection.
Yeah, I'm not gonna think about that part right now.
Don't worry about that. I don't.
Don't worry about that.
All right, but I guess I'm rolling intelligence.
I mean, so do you do it in the middle of the war room, or do you like go to? Because remember, if you remember correctly,
Oh, we're
there's,
gonna
like,
go
a
out to the
water-
spring to do this. We're gonna do.
Yeah,
Because
okay, you go out to
we're
the
about
spring
to
to do-
barrel a bunch of onkegs out. In fact, I want it to be to where they can like spill out into the spring whenever
Okay.
we leave. So
Oh Jesus, this is happening. Totally forgot about the on cakes, but Morgan did not.
I did.
Good.
Handle
Alright.
that inner Disney princess.
Literally. Jesus.
I mean, as a player, I'm skeptical that this is gonna work, but I got Taliesin's got no reason not to trust Morgan on this.
She gave you the face.
Did.
Can't say no to that.
Alright. Okay, are you ready? It's a good thing I wrote what happened to the on-kegs. Because, okay, never mind.
Okay, so we're just gonna leave the commander with like, okay, if you want to go try to talk them into letting Khalgrast fight, that's fine. And on the agreement that if they let us fight, we'll go peacefully.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
And Captain says, alright, I'll do my best to parlay. Dwarves and elves don't usually have the best, but they seem pretty willing to work with me as long as they have you, Khalgrast.
Don't worry, they're desperate enough to want these guys out of here.
Fair enough.
Any agreement for my life is kind of a bonus for them. They're gonna try to hunt me down anyway.
Morgan's gonna leave her with the words of, I'm going to see about rounding up on keg for your army.
Wait, on-kegs, aren't they supposed to be a invasive species?
They're very invasive sometimes.
You know, like these orcs.
You know, like these orcs. Amazing. Okay.
Listen, we'll put them back where we got them.
Alright. In which case, what do you guys... You're trying to teleport to the on-kegs?
Yeah.
I would probably
Alright.
like to roll my bond with. You want me to help?
Yeah,
well, you guys
no.
help after I roll, right?
Yeah, Alma's here to help out too. And Alma said, you know, this is fun. I remember seeing magic a long time ago. You know, there was this one wizard named Reyes. He wasn't really nice to me. I don't know why.
While she's saying all that, I'm gonna be.
She just, while she has her own little soliloquy there.
Not all of the flow, but sort of like part of the flow over the edge of the spring. I'm just gonna kind of redirect it up and form this like swirling flat plane.
All right, so
Kind of
the
right
water
at the
over
edge
here.
of the cliff.
Yeah, the water stops and eventually it wells up. Very familiar to what you did before. And go ahead and roll ints for me. Wow. Okay.
Okay,
so,
hold on. Hey, Alex.
You know, what's up?
Remember that I have empowered magic.
Yeah, you do.
So
Empowered magic.
Boy.
That delicious 12.
when I roll a 12, I don't actually. Or wait, is it when you cast? Where the fuck is it?
You can do the thing without incurring a penalty right now.
Yeah.
That's what 12 is.
So
Or
the
you can
spell's
do, like,
effects are
both things and still do
maximized,
that.
or the spell's effects are doubled. I'm gonna just tack the maximization effect on this.
Yeah, that's fine. You'll be able to hold the portal open comfortably for about like an hour. As long as you're not disturbed and you kind of focus with the energies here. And alright, and right before you, this appears. Why don't you describe what exactly happens? What exactly do you want to happen?
I mean, so like I said, I just divert some of the flow of water, but not all of it, out from and up. Instead of like falling down over the edge, it goes up, and then sort of forms this swirling, like flat circle of sparkling water that like tunnels outward away and sort of becomes a hallway.
Yep,
And
you kind of
opens
see.
out. Yeah, we can see the sun. What's that temple called?
Yeah, the Gates of Dawn.
The Gates of Dawn. We can see the Gates of Dawn on the other side. It like opens out onto the path that leads to the front door.
All right, Morgan. Do you go?
All right, it's all you guys. I'll have to stay here and keep this open.
Alma's gonna stay and keep you company and watch your back.
I'm not going through there.
Yeah, that's
Hop
fine.
Right on through.
Hey, wait, Baldric, you should also talk to the orcs and see if you can't get some help from them. And Morgan, you should also run down to since you're so fast, you should run down to the town and talk to the mercenaries. We got extra time.
Let's see how much time we have.
So before you, this swirling vortex opens of this energy in the shadow realm. The water creates like this pathway, and when you step on the water, it almost is like a slip and slide, and you just kind of wee all the way down. So that was unexpected. So moments pass, and as you go through this realm and tunnel of darkness, in a blink, the both of you kind of come barreling out of this portal. Neither of you land on your feet. I mean, you're more than welcome to try and do a dex check to land on your feet. Oh my god. I like how Baldric was like already ready for that.
You knew what you were doing.
So Baldric, you kind of slide and you land on your feet and you do this stuff pure way, and you and both of you just do it, no problem. Jesus, okay, man.
Well, you know, it's much easier when I'm not surrounded by the enemy.
And you do it perfectly, and you look behind you, and the vortex is still open, and like this doorway you see just like about like 10 feet of this the walkway, and on the other side you just see Taliesin closing his eyes and like constantly swirling his hand around in circles, keeping the portal open. You have 1 hour. The first thing you notice is the trees around the gates of dawn have been raised. The second thing you notice is the smell of ash. And the third thing you notice is, as far as the eye can see, carnage.
Oh no.
What remains, though, is the gates of dawn, sealed entirely. You notice pickaxes thrown to the side and marks of claws dug into the gate, but all of them, to no avail, have been destroyed. Or none of them were able to get through the gates of dawn. It has been sealed completely. So at least you have that going for you. The dust and the ash fall from the sky. As you look around, you can see flames surrounding. What used to be Wayward's Rest you see in the corner of your eye has been long gone. Signs of battle, maybe in the last few months. Who knows? It's been a while. What do you guys do?
Let's go find the Onkegs.
Start clicking.
Alright, 1 second, guys. I think I might have gotten rid. Wait, no, I did not. So you guys are no longer in the forest. Well, some of you are, but let's just go ahead and play this. Good old Wayward's Rest throwback song. 1 arc ago. So, as you step on to the dust and the sand around you and you start clicking, the earth starts rumbling. And you hear the click comes back, and a head pops out from the sand. Hello? It looks at you, perplexed, to see an elf standing by the gates of dawn. How do you respond, Morgan?
I need to speak with your queen.
Which one?
All of them, if possible.
And he looks at you, perplexed, confused, and then 17 other Onkeg heads pop out around the gates before you. Massive, large, hulking. But then there are 2 that you recognize from the initial flotilla, not flotilla, what are they called? Like initial hive cluster. And the 2 of them start clicking. It's like, wait, I know that one. Bring them to the Undercity. And with that, as they click in all in unison, they pop back underneath into the ground and sand. And the same center, the gates of dawn, opens for you guys. As sand, pathway, and stairs wrap around in circles downward. What do you do?
Oh.
Morgan, I'll let you lead.
Well, with pleasure.
And the both of you walk down the entrance. Not exactly the gates of dawn, but kind of around it. And eventually you make your way to a large stone door, and it opens. My, an old face I have not seen in a while. And the both of you are met with a large blue spiritual figure, Alvo Starbright, as he salutes. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna salute back to him.
I'm gonna do a bow.
And as the door opens and you walk past him, he says, "It must have been a bit of a fright to see everything so destroyed." I thought so too, but as he leads you down this long sandy corridor, another set of doors there, like the whole place is lit with torches, and as you open, you see the most expansive and beautiful colony of onkegs built into the ground. Months and months of work, months and months of design and prep, and it's much like an ant colony. But you notice something. Homes are built in the walls. Buildings, human buildings, are built into the side of these cliffs. And you see orc, onkeg,
Yeah!
and man living together underneath what was the carnage above. Immediately, two onkegs that had recognized you kind of crawl behind you, and they nuzzle your ankles, asking you, "Please ride me so we can go faster," because they're getting really impatient. Because remember, they move really fast on the ground.
I will do just as they ask.
I will follow Morgan's lead.
And the both of you ride these onkegs, named. Think of onkeg names, Morgan.
Do they have names?
I mean, you can totally name them.
That was the first name, and the second name is...
Thank you. So only Morgan can understand them, but you ride down and like it's just such a marvel. The way that the buildings are built into the walls, as if they both man and onkeg have worked together. You see, the onkeg have always lived in very tight corridors, and they didn't really understand that expansive spaces could be used so efficient for them. You see several worker onkegs kind of spitting and biting the dirt and creating these sort of mounds where then the humans using their technologies and they're knowing how to create a good home, kind of like digging them out. And you just see it goes down for as far as the eye can see. This colony.
And
Sorry?
opposable thumbs.
Yeah, and they're opposable thumbs, quite literally. You have no idea how this came together, but I guess after 6 months, a lot can get done when all these species work together.
Do these humans now speak onkeg?
They do not, but they have sort of an understanding. Actually, though, some of the hunters and the rangers have a basic understanding. Not as much as Morgan, but they can do basic gestures, and they kind of have their own distinct areas. Like you see on like the far right side, there's all these onkegs living together, and then you see on the left side, you see all the humans living together.
It would actually be what was the druid's name? The orc druid.
Oh, yes, totally forgot, but just call him the Orc Druid.
Nah, he had a cool name. Anyway, he would probably be the main ambassador between the races, being the only
definitely
person who
would
can
have done that,
fluently
yep.
speak with, everyone.
Yes, in which case, oops, I'm trying to find his name again, but I cannot find it.
I mean, it's in the VODs at least.
It is in the VODs at least. But I know it was it's the Voldasar. That's the orc clan that's there and then living with everyone. But anyways, and in the corner of your eye, Baldric, Baldric and Morgan, you hear a familiar voice. "It's been so long. I hope you bring good news." And you see Alara, that's some of her cavalry, kind of just making the rounds. And she's riding on a horse on the ground. In an onkeg colony. Just the whole juxtaposition is very odd and strange to you right now. As she trots up and pets the onkeg to the left. And you remember 6 months ago, she almost died to the broodmother, and now she is petting onkegs. It's a very, very different sight.
I made this.
I made
this happen.
And as she pets the onkeg, she looks... have you two returned? I'm sorry, have you made it past to Wayward's Rest? There's a small outpost there. They were supposed to point you to this direction. How did you arrive here so quickly? When did you arrive?
Just now, actually. We're kind of in a bit of a bind, so we don't have much time for small talk.
Oh, is everything okay? Where's Taliesin? Where's Khalgrast?
Well, Taliesin's created a portal to connect us up here, and so he's busy keeping that portal active.
Portal? Those are only supposed to be instants. Are you saying he's maintaining it right now? And you see, like,
Look, the guy's a genius.
The camera pans over to Taliesin, just like humming and spinning his arms, sweating, and we pan the camera back to the conversation at hand.
I trust in his magical ability.
He's clearly a savant. In which case,
Yeah, this is all me at this point. I haven't even had to tap into the starlight yet.
well, you had to tap into the starlight to create this.
Oh, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, but yeah, moving on. So she says, anything we can do to help? How long do you have? How long can you maintain a portal like that? It's been about like 10 minutes since you made it down here.
He can only maintain it for about an hour, but we need immediate help right now. We have some issues down south, and any people that could come and help us, we need it.
Down south? How far down south?
Silver Forest.
Silver. It took 6 months. Portal. Wow, this is. All right, we need to make haste. Now, she quickly talks to one of her advisors quickly, and she snaps her fingers. And you remember the image of Alara a long time ago being kind of despot and just depressed with her brother dying, and now she's suddenly she has this vigor in her, leading the people of Wayward's Rest in a way that they haven't before. And the best part about living underground is that there is no sunlight. And a figure, kind of coming out of the shadows, appears. Count Locke arrives and says, I seem to have overheard your conversation. If you guys remember, I still owe you a favor. Is there something I can do to help as well? Respondent.
Any men that you could send down south with us would be helpful.
All in.
All in. Oh, it literally all in.
While you handle these affairs, I'm going to handle the affairs with the.
Yeah, so pretty much Baldric talks with the human kind of commanders in Locke, and otherwise vampire, because you guys got that.
Wait, was he actually supposed to be a vampire from the start?
Yeah, he was straight up. He was a vampire.
He's just a vampire that's hanging out. Is like?
Yeah, I mean, there are
so many questions.
Yeah, he's a benevolent vampire.
Okay.
Ever since the raising and the destruction of Wayward's Rest, he's been a little bit more open about it. But we'll let that unfold.
Okay, yeah.
But all these people, the end times bring together everyone, man. But okay, so let's deal with because Morgan and Broodmother. Morgan, you are led on this massive on-keg about the size of a U-Haul truck, climbing down underneath all these sorts of corridors, and again, very fast. Eventually, you make your way over to the on-keg enclave. Wow, that's a mouth tongue twister. And there you see, again, as far as the eyes can see, just all these little these rooms filled with baby on-kegs, teenage on-kegs, just growing and all around this perfect colony, living in a symbiotic relationship with the over races. Enclave, amazing, thank you. And with that, there's suddenly, you are not in front of the one broodmother that is clearly the biggest out of all of them. The broodmother is so large, she takes up the entire wall. She's a part of the wall now. But there are 8 other broodmothers kind of sitting around her as they all kind of line up, sort of like a judiciary meeting. And they all are staring at you, and you hear at the back of your mind, "Savior, you have returned. Welcome to our humble abode." She speaks so loud and so deep, but like the whole, you can feel the ground sort of shake at any time she clicks her, her tongue and just making those sound effects.
Her clicks are resonating with my soul.
Literally, quite literally.
I must say, I'm quite surprised to see you living with humans and orcs.
The times have forced our hand. At first, we were untrustworthy of one another. But we have learned to work together, and we have thrived. The orc forces cannot make past Wayward's Rest. A sand of death awaits them. And the image to that sand earlier, all of that was dead orc dust. So, Wayward's Rest has been doing well, except Wayward's Rest is no longer Wayward's Rest, in that sense. But in which case, all of the broodmothers, they're all kind of gossiping right now, because you technically are their savior. They would have not been this prosperous if it wasn't for you, beseeching for them. And they kind of revere you right now. Their posture, they're kneeling, they're bowing, and the broodmother is probably the most calm out of all of them, raises one of her massive arms, and the silence hushes. You allowed us to thrive, and you seek our aid. Is this correct?
I suppose that much was obvious, but yes. Regardlessly, I must ask for your aid after you have...
5,000 of our best warriors. Will that suffice?
I'm sorry, is there gonna be a forest left?
I think that would suffice greatly.
In your time of need, we will come for the Savior. Thank you. They will fight for you. You will lead them. Then they will come back with knowledge of the outside world. Tell me, how is... clicks a name, son, the one that's with you. He's been doing well.
Yeah.
You haven't seen him in a couple days, but he's doing well.
Angsty, rebellious little brat.
Growing very large, somewhat rebellious, but he's doing well.
Tell him that his mother misses him very much. And like you have like a whole
Pass the word along.
And but we must prepare. And again, mustering that amount of forces in the amount of time they have left. Oh man, 5,000 on-keg at your disposal, Morgan. So, and then we pan the camera over to Baldric, meeting with both Locke and Alara. Esmond is not here, Nessa is not here. Remember, they had gone with...
Are the orcs there as well?
Yes, the orcs are there, and you meet two familiar faces, representing the Voldasar. And they are, sorry, just getting up my notes again. It has been a hot minute. Drugar and Draktha.
There we go.
And Garu was the druid. So Drugar is the man who had this bond with Khalgrast. The first thing he says, and his English has gotten much better. Where is Dwarf Man? Wants give him a hug.
Dwarf Man is on other side of portal right now. He would love to hug you too.
Can I hug you and you hug him?
Yes.
He doesn't wait for before you say yes. He's already hugging you.
Just tell him he can hug himself.
Yeah, that's a better thing to say.
And
well, why don't you come hug him then? I mean, you can come with us.
And before Drugar continues, Drakta says, our clan has thrived in recent months, but the initial fighting to keep away the orcs made it difficult for us. Unfortunately, this time we will not be able to support any aid. We have to try and rebuild our numbers. We have only started to steadily recover. And if you remember, they were originally about 24 orcs. The small band of orcs against the innumerable odds have managed to at least survive. And Drakta says, originally we had 24, dwindled down to 12, and now we are back up to 60. They reproduce very fast. They're orcs. And then he says, in the months to come, we will train them. but as of right now, we will not be able to. I am very sorry. And she gives a very deep bow to you, and Drugar does as well. And they kind of give you the impression that their clan right now is where they're supposed to focus on.
Hey,
they want to help. Yeah, what's up?
But what if Khalgrast were to roll his bond with Drugar, and Drugar wants to come along to help as himself?
That's what I was thinking.
Baldric, you can parlay with them to see if Drugar would like to come along.
I would like to do that, actually.
Go ahead.
And you get a +1 forward to this since you're acting on my advice to go get the orcs.
Yeah. So totally roll. Oh well, I mean that's 11. And Drugar looks at Drakta. Come on. And Drakta says, "All right, Drugar can go with you. I must need to know what is happening in the outside world." And Drugar says, "That's my sister," and gives her a big hug. And they have a moment, and like once their very serious and aggressive demeanor, very standoffish, has since then kind of receded a little bit, as if safety and comfort allows someone to thrive. God forbid. But no, Drugar's going with you guys. Gotta find his token again. Oh man. And with that, we turn over to Locke and Alara, who. After this tender moment, Alara says, we are running short on time. How much time do we have left? And you would know it's like about 45 minutes left.
Yeah, I would tell about 45.
Yes. All right. Locke, how many men can you provide? Well, most of my men only thrive down here. Tell you what, Alara, you send your forces, and I will make sure that Wayward's nest will not get attacked. I'm taking that. I'm stealing that.
You really went with that.
Yeah, I'm stealing that. It's
Perfect. It's perfect.
It's fucking perfect. Man. So anyways, Locke's Familia will focus their efforts on defending with the remainder Onkeg. And Alara says, if that's the case, you will have my magicians and you will have my cavalry. That is about 2,000 strong. I hope that'll be enough for the time being.
Anything will help at this point.
Excellent. We will do so. And I must prepare. And she starts to give all her advisors. And is there anything else you'd like to say to them?
Just to thank him. And while everything's getting prepared, I'm kind of updating her on what's going on.
All right, and you're walking and talking, and she is terribly surprised about everything that's happened so far. So much has happened in such short time, and she catches you up on the state of affairs. Wayward's Rest obviously had been razed and destroyed, but in their moments of what they would thought would be the defeats, because the orcs had figured out that night attacks would not work against Wayward Rest, and half of their forces were gone because Locke's Familia are literally vampires, or touched in that way. They would attack one day, but then the Onkegs came with the orcs to save the town. And although times have been tense during the initial months, after that initial hurdle of just dealing with it and working together, you see what has happened. The Onkegs' tunneling capabilities combined with human ingenuity and orc strength, doing everything together in such a way that would not normally have been possible if it wasn't for the party bringing everyone together in the first place. Every night you hear stories about Khalgrast and Taliesin and Baldric and Morgan, and just filling just the night as hope. You were their symbol of hope through the dark times, and because of that, they have thrived. So, in that, about half an hour passes, and Taliesin, you open your eyes to see what's happening in the portal, and all of a sudden, we kind of pan back to over here, and you can see about 5,000 Onkeg lined up. How do you react?
He moves.
Perfect.
I'm
actually gonna just adjust this portal here. This is a bad positioning, actually. This is
so they're gonna go out to the ground. So totally,
yeah, I'm gonna flip it around and then just move it down to ground level.
And
so they go out to the mushy ground.
Yeah, they come out to the mushy ground, and for the next 15 minutes, all you see, the portal gets bigger too because you rolled a 12 and you maximized it. I'm gonna give that to you. 2,000 on keg, and 5,000 on keg, about 1,000 cavalry, and about 500 magicians and 500 support staff just coming out of this portal. And you know the archers kind of manning the walls right now? They don't know how to respond to this. They just are aghast at what's happening. And finally, you see at the very tail end, Alara coming out, riding her beautiful white mane, and next to Alara are 2 Onkegs, with Morgan riding on one and Baldric riding on the other. And behind them, Drugar, who needs no mount, is walking out with a giant warhammer on his back, picking his teeth right now, and eating a giant hunk of meat in the other. Walks out and says, "Smells very weird," as he comes out. And Khalgrast, you hear the familiar voice of Drugar.
I know that voice. I look for Drugar.
And
I point Drugar into the position where I last saw Khalgrast.
see, Khalgrast, you're on top of the hill, and he's down there. He just starts rock climbing up, and
Oh, I yell at that guy like, "Hey, I hope you brought enough to share."
And as he gives you the point and like takes out a sack and gives you like some cured meats, and you have a moment with Drugar. Just this hulking 7-foot orc just sharing meat with a dwarf. Who would have thought?
I have like 4 foot nothing.
You both kind of sit by the edge of the lake. You know, today I learned portals and armies are fucking busted.
Yeah, this game is busted, but that's the point.
That's kind of the point, right? 1 second. I did save his token. I'm just finding it right now, since he is going to be a player in the coming. There he is. This is why you keep organized notes, so I can pull stuff up like this on a whim when your players decide to do something that you didn't expect.
I mean, like Roll20 kind of makes it really easy for you.
Yeah, as long as you do good naming of your files.
I name everything. I name
Hell
everything.
Yeah. And you just pull it up when you want it.
Yep. So there he is. He gives you he gives you a big fist bump, and with that, suddenly your numbers have increased drastically, and portal closes after the last person comes out.
Yep.
This is looking better.
And you notice, just because it would totally make sense, the river before you, it seems like the starlight has definitely been used up for the time being. It'll come back, but it's just that amount of power to hold that portal open, allowing literally 7,000 troops to move from halfway across the country.
Yep.
Here. It's spent. And
I also have a question.
yeah, what's up?
Is Alma gonna try to ride it to Onkeg?
Alma's already turned into an Onkeg and is like playing with the other Onkegs.
I am the Onkeg.
No, she is literally an Onkeg. It's like, oh my fucking god, they're beautiful! And she jumps off and she transforms into an Onkeg just like this immediately. She picks it up real quick.
It's like the land is their water.
The land is their water. There's a shit ton of Onkeg here, and at first, Vela, who's on the very far end right here, is panicked to see all these Onkeg, and then sees everyone else there, and immediately runs up the ramparts, comes over here, climbs up, and just looks at you in just pure shock. She doesn't know how to process this right now.
I got my hands on my hips.
I did say this is what I was going to get.
No, this is good. This is perfect.
I
don't know if I could port them again though.
This is you notice one of the Onkegs. You actually, the way you see it, some of the cavalry members are actually riding the Onkeg. They have actually learned to fight with each other, and they're painted all these assortment of colors, like green and red and black, and just the way that they're scattered. They've also determined how to rank their numbers as well. And one of the Lieutenant Onkegs,
smoking a cigar.
No, he's not smoking a cigar. Climbs up to where you guys are and speaks to Morgan and says, we follow your command. After the battle is done, we will tunnel our way back.
Well then.
Everything's coming up us.
So what do you guys do? Now that you have a literally whole army with you guys.
Okay, let's revise the plan, guys.
Yeah.
So how do you revise the plan?
Well, first we need to know how the negotiations with the orcs went.
Dwarves?
The dwarves.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh no,
I misspoke.
this all would have happened in like an hour and a half. Captain Vela has sent the missive, and we're just waiting for a reply back. He
I
says.
need to go get my son.
I need my son.
Yeah, we have like a day or so to get ready. How long is it gonna take for this starlight to read?
You could probably go faster with the non-cake.
You would be able to go faster with a non-cake.
Much faster.
I'm gonna go take an on-keg to get my son.
All right, you can totally do that. And what about everyone else?
I'm gonna work on introducing like Alara and all of them.
Oh yeah, they're gonna
to
talk.
the-
They're gonna talk shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna work on making the relations between everybody.
And Drugar and Khalgrast are just having their bro moment, I assume.
I need my broman.
You need your bro moment. And Taliesin.
Well,
Probably
I don't
gonna
have
be
time
talking.
for sentimentality. I have to do work.
Yep.
Good for
Hey,
you.
Alex, I would like to spout lore about the spring.
Yeah, sure, go
I
ahead.
want to see how long it would take, basically, for it to replenish at least some of its power. I obviously
Some
am
of
not
its
going to be
power?
able to pull
Okay.
that stunt again.
No, you will not
anytime
be able to
soon.
pull that
Probably
stunt.
until the next full moon, if we're expecting things to work how they should.
It's a bit on the nose, yeah.
But yeah, like basically it's like how long it would take, or if there's anything I could do to facilitate that. Because being able to like do a minor version of that later is probably going to be super useful.
Yeah,
At least where I can move more people.
roll for it.
I'm gonna use one of my my bag of books uses. Get a +1 to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
Yikes.
Well, you can
That's
mark
a
an
7.
experience.
That's
That
a
isn't.
7.
Oh, that's a 7 because of the books.
Yeah, plus
Right.
Could I help out? Because my Baldric lore is actually in magic.
Well, I think it would have to be increased up to a 10 for it to matter, right? So
That's 3 people having to help.
yeah, I mean, if you guys can all help, then sure. But
How exactly are you trying to do this?
He's just trying to
I'm-
spread lore.
yeah, I'm just trying to
Am I still there?
to study it, or to see if there's anything I could do to facilitate its like regrowth, or to see if I'm going to be able to use it in the next like couple of days to do something
Ugh.
minor.
Like, I don't even think I don't know how much Boss knows about Starlight.
I mean, Starlight's what fucking powers everything. Starlight's what he wanted in the first place.
Unfortunately, Starlight is a bit more out of his purview.
Yeah, that's not really what he's about.
But it's a 7. Even with everyone helping you, it would be unlikely to get that up to a 10.
Yeah, so that's just whatever that is. Tell me
Something
about
interesting.
useful.
Yeah, no. Because it's what you did was really out the ballpark. You have no idea how much energy you've spent from the river. You know it took a while because to maintain that for an hour is something incredible, a feat on its own. Something interesting about it is you hadn't used up all of it. You kind of look down. There's still specks of starlight kind of still flowing through, but it's still there. You haven't completely used up all of it, but you have no idea how long it's going to take to at least have some sort of semblance of power. Like most of the starlight is just mundane.
This regular ass light.
Yeah, it's the specks of just dust. They used to have some magic. Like if you stand here for like an hour collecting it, you might have enough for a cantrip, but
Yeah.
very unlikely to anytime soon. So, Morgan wants to ride on the non-kick back to get her son.
Yeah.
All right, cool. You go ahead and do that. Baldric and Taliesin are going to go with Alara. Oh, by the way, I should find
Yeah,
Alara
we should
and
get the
her on
troops
here, too.
organized. That'll be what we do for the rest of the day.
All right, that is exactly what you guys will
Yeah,
probably
'cause
do.
that's gonna be a task.
You know, to organize all that. Hold on.
What I'm thinking right now is Well, essentially, Alex tells me how many people I could feasibly take in a teleport, because it's very, like, not...
At most, you'll be able to take a small squad.
Yeah, like a squad. Like, basically what we did last time, which was, like, us and a handful of other people.
A maximum of 12. Maximum of 12.
Okay.
Oh, that works out very well. We're taking Draktar.
Yeah, we'll
Drugar.
take 12.
The
Drugar.
next,
wrong one.
his sister.
Dragar, sorry, yeah.
There's
Get the names
Alara.
back.
Unless I were to,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
roll 12 and double it or something. I mean, then I think I could argue.
Then it's 24, but even then, like, it's a
still
small,
not... Yeah.
very small strike force.
We can try to spice it up, or I could just forget it, and I'll still have Fireball, but it's
And I'll still
okay to
have
be a
Fireball.
one-trick pony when your one trick is mighty fine.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Man, we're suddenly playing a war game. Welcome to this. But this here represents Alara's troops. Each one is 1,000 troops. Because that's how they split their forces.
Where are you placing this?
But like you will get to decide where they're gonna go, essentially.
Where are you talking about?
we don't see where.
Oh, my bad. I forgot
Did
to
you not
move
move
into
us
the
to
main map.
the... Yeah. Okay, there we go. Obviously the party is the FOE.
No, that's more like it.
Then I'm going to get. I have Onkeg somewhere over here.
We got tokens for all this stuff that we used
Yep.
in season 1.
And you have the Onkeg over here. I just represent them as. I can make more if you'd like, but
You should
they
actually
split
do a color filter over them. They're going to be a little hard to see against that forest.
Fair enough. Just mark that there.
Oh, well, I meant you can actually change like the base color of tokens in the bottom
Oh,
left.
can I?
Yeah, like put white on it and it'll like make it brighter. That might be enough. Or maybe like
I'll do that later.
Pink. Yeah.
I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about,
yeah,
but anyway, so you have your troops, and let's find Elf Ranger. I had that somewhere. There we go. As those, so I can totally just suggest where they will go. So, remember all the red flags are orc bases, and they're pushing in.
All right. Well, this is really your forte, Baldric.
Baldric, what do you want?
Dude, I hope Baldric just disconnected.
Hello?
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Back.
That was me having Discord fucking up, but Baldric, what do you
No,
want?
that was actually Rook. We heard everyone except for Rook.
Oh,
Yep. Yeah.
I thought that was Alex disconnecting.
it's whatever. Moving on.
Me.
So Baldric, this you get to decide since this is your forte. Like Alara, Captain Bella, they both look to you. Morgan is going to get his son. He will totally get his son within a day. But we're doing this first. And the both of you seem to look at you with some sort of just, what's your advice here? You know everyone. You know their strengths. You know what they have. You know what they are capable of.
Actually, I want to talk with Taliesin and whatnot. This is kind of out of character. Do you think it would be a good idea to kind of have everyone paired off, essentially? Like, instead of just sending one elf force?
That's probably a good option. They're big enough, and if we keep them mixed, probably powerful enough to have some impact on their own. Although if we do that, we really can't expect any one set to get too much done.
Let's
Well, more of what I'm talking about is like maybe we split, some of Alara's forces and have them join up with some of the Elven forces because you got the archers there and
Yeah.
they could be behind the Alara's
Okay, so you mean like
forces and whatnot.
creating three groups of 2, just of all the
Essentially,
combinations.
Yeah, just
So
doing
think of it
different
this way.
combinations.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to organize them. Yeah.
The elves are ranged. The Onkegs are heavy infantry. The humans are infantry and cavalry. So you
Oh,
can
they
kind
have
of sort of think
wizards
like that.
too. I heard you say.
They do have wizards. You're right. They
So
also
they're
have
like more
background classes.
versatile, like maybe the most.
Yes, they're
versatile
the
troop.
versatile. The 2,000 versatile troops. Those are the most versatile. And the orcs, you would know, they would have the front line. The front line, they wouldn't have time to set up siege weaponry. Not all the time. So they're mostly just hordes and hordes of orcs with shamans.
Yeah, so basically what we could do is we could split everyone off into multiple different groups and we'll have the Onkegs leading the front followed by the cavalry with the archers as rangers, behind, right?
So you're thinking about a balanced kind of sort of approach to this?
Yeah, balance
Okay.
out the groups. They each have their strengths, they each have their weaknesses, and they can support each other.
So you like to do that? Okay, so that's the case. That is 100% fine. How am I going to fucking do this? All right.
Boy, just making things more difficult on you.
And
I mean, you
such
should.
is life.
So is it
What's up?
2 of each, or how many total are we working with?
I've made it so that they would have three separate groups.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So you have 3 fronts: northern front, center front, bottom front. So I guess you're just gonna send a group to each front. It's up to you guys. You can kind of like focus one direction,
Well, this isn't accounting for the orcs, but we don't know what they're doing.
That's
this
true.
job.
So.
I mean, the on kicks alone will definitely take him by surprise.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and also the Onkegs are going to be able to move much faster than the orcs are, and we can utilize them to maneuver much more quickly.
That's
So
true.
before they have a chance to even react, the Onkegs will just be on top of them.
And what about the dwarves? Where are they going to be coming in? If they
Oh
come
yeah.
in?
When about halfway through the meeting, you get a knock on the door, Taliesin and Baldric, and it opens up, and an elven ranger comes in with a letter from the dwarves. And the dwarves come in, and you read. Vela first scoffs and is really annoyed, and then reads, "The dwarves are willing to help. Khalgrast is okay to fight, but he is there's going to be a detachment following him, making sure he doesn't run away."
Detachment of what?
Even better.
And
They just signed
say-
some of their boys up for the front line.
Yeah, no, they did, but the dwarves agreed that their 20,000 troops will only deal with the southern front, because that's how far they are from the mountains, the closest ones. So these ones over here and these ones over here are going to be dealt by the dwarves, or at least maybe dealt by them.
Well, what we can also consider doing is kind of start come from like around here and push towards the mountains to kind of trap the orcs. Push them up against this area right here, which would force them to meet up with the dwarves at the south. Does that make sense what I'm talking about?
Sandwich them in towards the center, correct?
Yeah, sandwich them towards the Iron Mountains. We can move to get them towards that direction.
Yeah, just come at them from like 3 different directions, and
Yeah, so here, I'll draw stuff
we either
in.
poured in on top of the plateau, or like up in here and just fight our way up.
You can totally do that.
Yeah, we can still port in from behind, but like we make the front up in this direction. I'm sorry, that's green.
That's
I
fine.
mean, actually,
try to
even better,
force them that direction.
if we've got dwarves, I'm going with my original plan, and
What's your-
we're going to. Those dwarves are going to tell us somewhere we can go in the mines, and we're just going to pop out on the plateau, unbeknownst to the orcs. And then while they're scrambling to fight all these armies and worrying about what's happening down there, we're going to be sneaking around with about 12 or maybe 24 if we're lucky people, and going to
Yeah,
wreck
absolutely.
a lot of havoc. And we're going to go like full guerrilla.
Do you think we're going to be able to get the attention of these guys?
I'm not even talking about those guys. I'm talking about just porting right here inside of the plateau. We pop out somewhere that the orcs don't see us, and we just sort of like make a base camp, make their lives hell, and then strike whenever the opportunity presents itself.
You do know that the blue X there is a watch post about 6 hours away from the plateau. So that is another possible thing that you can port towards. Because porting to the plateau with 6 words is difficult, but Vela
The
knows the
watchtower.
exact.
That's right. We did determine that we could get directly to the watchtower.
Yeah, so it's very easy to get to that point.
Yeah, but having the doors with us would let us know like about the mines and shit and where we can get
Yeah.
in there.
And also, you can tell them that you can tell the dwarves that you can meet them. You can meet them at the watchtower as like a
Oh
point.
yeah, that'd be better. Yeah. Even better.
Just-
That's less people
that's a
I gotta
possibility.
teleport. Yeah. That sounds great.
So, I agree with that plan. Let's do that.
Yeah, the situation's looking a hell of a lot less desperate now.
Yeah. And Alex, what I'm saying is we have a force go here, a force go there, and then we can have the third force kind of adding more support this way.
Okay,
That
so
makes
you'd
sense.
like
Yeah, they
to
should
do
be
it-
playing defense and just keeping the orcs from funneling into the towns.
Okay, so
Yeah,
sort
so-
of like this, and then you have another group up here, kind of coming in from this front,
Yes.
and then the last one. Okay, that one's going to take some time to get into position, but it will take the full week. You're going to be cutting it real fucking close.
Yeah, but we got the on-kegs. They can make movement go a lot faster for
they can
these
make.
guys, right?
I mean, with the on-kegs, because of the on-kegs, they're able to get into position, no problem. But even then, it's going to take you 5 to 6 days. So you will be cutting it very close.
Still, it's better than nothing.
I mean,
What
it's
do you
better
guys
than
no,
think?
we
having no
should
army.
definitely not do that. That's too much setup time, dude. We should have
So
that
you're like-
group move in from this direction. Like, we
You
can't.
want just- okay.
We need to have more time in there. I don't want to just have to charge in.
Okay, so
That's-
would you
that's
rather
not a great
have
plan.
the other group go to right here?
Yeah, maybe have them push in with the dwarfs.
So maybe the
Okay.
one that's all the way at the far end's coming this way.
Yeah. Will that take
Alright.
less time to set up? How many days?
That'll
are we
take
talking
less time
here?
to set up since you guys are right there. So you guys can maneuver in about 4 days instead of 7.
And how many days total do we have? Oh, I guess we don't know exactly, huh?
You have about a week,
About a week. Okay.
about 6 days. 6 days because you spent the day planning all this stuff.
All right. Well, we're leaving. Whenever the troops are leaving to move, we're leaving for the watchtower at least. So we're gonna try to get something done in that time.
Okay.
Okay,
So
well,
the
the
troops-
goal for the troops will be to push them towards, I guess, this area over here.
Essentially
just find
sandwich them.
Yeah, just kind of overwhelm them. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, and Vela and Alar is immediately on board because she trusts you guys, and Vela is like, it's been how many years since this many humans were in the Silver Forest, and how many years since Onkegs were here too. I'm trusting you all here. This is the fate of my race we're talking about. And tell Khalgrast I do apologize for selling him out.
I mean, he's not going to accept
Well-
that, but I'll tell him that you said that.
We'll figure something else out.
He's not really the kind of person to forget a slight.
Yeah, well, I'd rather me have the slight than my people.
Oh no, but please, by all means, if I was in your position, I'd much rather him hate me than, yeah.
I understand. I have much to prepare. Feel free to use the Sapphire Keep as whatever you need as your plans to plan, or as your operations to plan. You have the Watchtower and you have my men. And she goes off and does her thing. And we're gonna pan the camera over to where, to Morgan trying to find her son.
I don't think it'll be that hard.
My son.
Yeah, so about 6 hours pass as you ride on top of this Ankh, the same one that you rode on back in the colony. So, you're mounted on this Ankh, and it's pretty fast, like absurdly fast. It kind of tunnels into the ground, and it's gotten so used to people mounting it that it tunnels in a way that dust doesn't really get in your face.
Oh,
So-
nice.
As long as you stay
No.
ducked down, I imagine.
Yeah, and then as long as you stay really ducked down. But a few hours later, pops out at a familiar. Wait, no, hold on. Let's change the music. Throwback. Stop this music. Start this music again.
So many throwbacks.
Yeah, but you go back to you end up to Woodlands Realm.
Throwback Thursday, yeah.
As it pops out and you see the town of Woodlands Realm, all living their day, completely unbeknownst to what is actually happening an hour from their home. And actually, hold on. Let's go ahead and drag you guys over here. Let's adjust this real quick. He's not here, you're not here, you're not here, you are here. But here you pop out. What do you do?
I'm gonna head over immediately to the stables where I left my son.
Right, you head over to the stables, and you are met with immediately your horse just tackling you and nuzzling you.
Oh, not right now.
And and Yago is like, but apples! It's been so long!
Do I still have apples? I'm pretty sure I do.
Totally have apples. Just feed them the apples. And out there you see a bit off, tucked into the corner, the young kid just sitting there. It's kind of like lazing around. Back is turned to you right now. What do you do?
I'm gonna click to him. You are surprisingly well behaved.
He turns around and there's like a half-eaten apple in his mouth, and you kind of turn around and you see he's eaten through half the stable. His body was covering it.
I mean, like, you mean horses?
No, I think he means the building.
The actual stable, the building itself.
The stable is being.
Oh.
Growing hotcakes need a lot of.
Yeah, that's a lot of energy they need. Yeah, I mean, like.
And all of a sudden, out comes the innkeeper, who says, "So, you're not gonna have to pay for that, right?"
How much?
Oh my, about 70 coins should fit.
I mean, how much is it worth for you to not, like, die to orcs?
I mean, they don't know that.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
them,
Out of
it's
character
just-
though, you should probably be warning these people that hey, there might be also because there might be like fling-offs from the army that come over here. You don't know. Like,
Yeah.
they should be made aware.
The thing is, though, that actually no, around this time, totally, they would have been warned about it, but like they don't really take it as a serious threat right now. Some people have started to pack up and move, but remember, they all moved here to go out of the reach of Orncia and the common towns. They wanted a quiet, peaceful life. And by the way, it was the half orc who is the innkeep. This is telling you like, well, 70 coin. I mean, this is my livelihood here.
As Morgan is digging to produce the 70 coin, because I do have the 70 coin. Well, your livelihood is currently in danger, so enjoy the 70 coin while you still have it.
And he said, well, at least if I die, I'll die 70 coin richer. And he takes the coin and he goes back. No questions asked. And then he also notices the onkeg, this giant onkeg, like not too far from you, and then sees the other onkegs. Like, I am not housing another one of those things.
No, I'm taking them.
All right, and the teenage onkeg notices the adult onkeg. It's like, whoa, you have another onkeg with you.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah, another one. We have
Are
a
we
lot
done?
of those now.
Yeah, this one's more well behaved.
So, what do you guys do? No, what does Morgan do?
Well, first, your mother misses you.
Wait, you met my mother? Wait, how'd you get back home so fast? Wait, they're still alive? Wait, and just, does the whole thing where, like, teenagers, like, they ask you a bunch of questions, and then you get really angry that you're not answering their questions?
I did Portal for one, magic, and well, we have orcs to fight.
It's like, oh, okay. And let's fight some orcs! And he's really excited to fight orcs.
Get the horses.
At least he's really excited about that.
The horses turn to you, half expecting to come along too.
How do I get the horses through the tunnels?
The unfortunate thing is you're gonna have to take the long way back.
That's all right. It's gonna take like a full day to get the
To get everything set up anyways.
You're not gonna
We're
be
good.
holding us
Yeah, I
up.
can take them.
You're not holding us up. The
So-
several thousand people are.
Yeah, so do you actually do that? You take everyone
Yeah,
with you?
I'm gonna take everything.
Oh my lord. Okay, so, and as you come out, a familiar face is walking into town. It's like, didn't I just see you?
No. Yes.
And he's just there, stunned, gets out of the way. You're riding this giant onkey. What happened in these last 6 hours?
Well, You'll either know in 7 days where, well, the calamity happens, or
Hey, you should let him know the situation's looking
heroes.
way less fucked up. Yeah.
but we have an army of Onkegs, so things are looking up at least.
And he looks at you, and he rubs his temples. So you're saying it's less of a suicide mission?
Fuck.
Less
I
of a
didn't even-
suicide mission.
I don't understand what that means. Less of
I don't
a
even
suicide
think it's a
mission.
suicide mission anymore.
So not. Yeah, I think a suicide mission is pretty binary.
All right, fuck it. Climbs on the horses. Let's go.
Times.
God damn it.
He actually feels pretty guilty for leaving. He was thinking about it the whole time coming back.
Oh no.
And another face comes out from one of the barns. It's Lyle. He says, "What's going on?"
Not this kid.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
the
all this
kid.
kid.
No.
Well, there's a free horse. You can just hop on and come with.
Any other, like, named NPCs we're gonna put up on Alex's chopping block while we're at it?
Hey.
Can we somehow get Aiden's guys in here?
No, you have no idea where they are.
Well, we have an idea. He's probably near the front line.
He is definitely by the front line, but you wouldn't know where the front line is. It's been 6 months.
That would require a whole nother portal and bullshit.
Yeah. Please don't do this to me.
No. We're done. You've made it very clear that that trick won't happen twice, and it's
Yeah.
it's not fair to use the same trick twice.
Yeah, but anyways,
Man, that'd be boring.
Lyle says Lyle's half expecting you to ask him to come along.
More like
Wow,
he
this
really
is
fucking
really
wants
dangerous.
Yeah. Please. He's been like stir crazy the last couple days, ever since he's come back.
Lyle, get on the horse.
Yes, and he comes on the horse, and it's like fucking yep, and you're off with the Onkeg, as townsfolk are half leaving, half staying, and you end up back at the Sapphire Keep sooner or later. And a day passes, well, a full day passes, with everything getting set up with your armies and your forces mustering and getting acquainted with one another. And let's just delete this Morgan over here so there's not two Morgans. And Khalgrast, you see, like, on the ramparts sharing your moment, a familiar faces trotting in.
Oh, good.
Baldric, we should see if we can get your sister to foot this guy's bill.
She would not go for that at all.
Wait,
Come on.
why is Harry back here?
I mean, I don't see this. I'm like in the castle somewhere.
Harry's like just completely aghast at the army that you have. It's like, this is too bad. Hopefully, get paid for this. Maybe. Who knows?
No, this is volunteer work right now.
Yeah, he does feel guilty for leaving.
Good. We should have just kicked him out earlier.
And with everyone's forces mustering, you're gonna take a 10-minute break.
Yes, I was thinking that.
Excellent.
Actually, surprised. I was like, in my head, it's like, oh, they gotta rely on the dwarves, and they get to have this hook with Khalgrast, and like, wait, you have a portal. Wait, oh, Morgan's going there.
Disney princess.
Morgan's
Alex,
going there.
we're talking about your hook. Relax.
I know. You're still following the hook, but like, I'm also really happy that you decided to go back the way with rest, because that entire thing was like planned. Was
Yeah,
planned.
just
I
the
wanted
next
you guys
time we
to.
went back there, yeah.
At first, I want you guys to feel despair, like shit, everything's gone. Oh wait.
Well, Morgan
fucking-
did the thing that was necessary to figure out the thing. So that tension just happened to not be held for very long.
Yeah. But you got to see Wayward's Nest. I'm upset that I didn't fucking call it that.
I mean, you did
Missed
now.
opportunity.
Don't worry, I got your back, Alex.
Completely missed. I'm upset.
I mean, it does seem like man, that's
I would be
an
too,
Alex
but-
name right there.
It really is something I expect you to do.
I guess I was so wrapped up in with describing the scene, it's like this destruction, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, hello.
I missed this game.
You guys left a very, very big mark on the world. I mean, like, that whole first arc, the way that it developed. No,
Oh man, we're not done.
Yeah, we ain't done yet. And we're gonna have side arc where we go to see the dwarves now, it seems.
Oh, a side arc, yes, totally side, totally. Mm-hmm.
It's not the next location of the fucking altar or whatever. Alex, I've watched an anime. I know how this works. I played a video game. Your JRPG roots are shown with this game, and that's not like that's not calling you out because it's good. But
I mean, don't worry about it. JRPGs can be good. Also,
yeah.
Also, sometimes people ask you to run JRPGs, and you're just like, well, all
right, bitch, idiot. I want you to ruin me.
Just make me super depressed. And then, like, fucking 11th hour, like, savior me.
I feel very caught with my pants down right now.
I don't know. I'm still thinking, like, Khalgrast is gonna go the way of the Captain Falcon.
Oh, no.
Punch your way out of everything.
No, punch
like
the real Captain Falcon.
He's gonna punch God, and it's gonna kill him, but it's
Explode.
also gonna kill God. It's alright. I've actually legitimately already thought about Taliesin's endgame.
That's nice. I haven't thought about my endgame at all.
Yeah, that's alright. Taliesin already
Why
knows
would
what he
you?
wants to do. Kinda.
The reason why I don't plan for my endgame, because if I plan for my endgame, you're gonna end up so off course that
Oh,
all
yeah.
that planning is wasted.
Well, it's more like
Oh,
you
yeah.
plan for things that will happen, because there are things that are gonna happen regardless.
Yeah.
Also, your antagonist is kind of different, since it's
Yeah.
a god that's not, like, whole yet. It's kind of, you know...
Yeah, it's explicitly like a... yeah.
Yeah, so anything could, like, happen. It's different when it's, like, a person. And
I
it
mean,
just
you
depends...
still gotta worry about logistics and shit, but...
Yeah, I mean, I like to personally keep my antagonist hidden.
Killing me.
Well, for me, I like to have the antagonist front and center, but it makes it more interesting when,
Well, you have one front and center, of course.
yeah. Ain't that a thing? Ain't that a thing? Well, we took a quick excursion to Crusader Kings 2. Now we're going back to Dungeon World.
I'll be right back.
Jesus. Oh man, I hope you guys are ready for like the lead up to everything happening all at once. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm so excited. Oh my god.
Fuck my life up, fam.
Oh man, you those on kicks that was smart. I did not expect that.
That was
I
smart,
have been
actually.
waiting for an opportunity to like backtrack to get my on-keg and say, hey, can we visit your parents? But it was all like the timing of like how everything happened. It made it really hard to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, see, like I had given you guys this crazy roller coaster that has been going down the track for so long. It's like, I think I should
This
let
is
them,
our first break.
you give him a break, and the first thing you guys do is summon a fucking army. This is why you don't give breaks. I'm not upset. I'm not actually upset.
We're just using the tools you gave us.
True. I mean, you guys could have easily killed out the rest of the on-kicks, but you guys didn't. And it's a good way to reward. Wait, what? Hello?
I would argue
welcome
we
back.
easily could have done that.
Wait, what?
That wouldn't have been easy to do. If
Oh,
that was
it's
what
true.
we wanted to do.
I mean, All because of that one charisma check way back when you talked to the Broodmother. I remember it specifically. It was Morgan talking to the Broodmother and Baldric snapping her out of it. I remember that moment. And it's like, that happened 6 months ago, guys. Jesus.
It's
Actually, 6 months ago. This is why I love. This is what. No, as much as I give people shit for, or as much as I give you shit, Kent, for not being a player, like moments like this when I'm a DM is just like the stuff that you guys come up with is so.
Oh yeah, it's super satisfying.
It's like
I hear you.
I feel like I had nothing to do with it, and it's just someone that is just. It's like
That's
I put this thing in front of them.
That's basically the moment I'm chasing with all of my games. Is I want to actually have done nothing during the session, and it was just like things happening.
The results from the party.
Yeah.
And that was the session where it's like, wow, like you guys finally went back to the place where you had saved. You know, what happens after 6 months from the choices? Like you guys went the fucking Paragon route in Mass Effect, and everything worked out.
It's all right. Our blocking is much better.
Hey.
I love shot reverse shot.
God. We can get this started again. The last couple weeks have been pretty rocky, but I have a very good idea of what's going to happen like the next couple months or so.
And what?
Yeah.
Dungeon World?
Oh yeah, Dungeon World. So that's the thing it does. Like, it helps when you run different systems. It gets the ball rolling on this stuff. Like you learn things, and
Gives you ideas.
And also not ideas like writer's block. Like, because for a little bit I had writer's block for ending off this arc because you guys had gone so far off the path that I had originally planned. I was having trouble. How do I do this?
Yeah.
But when you run different systems and you play with different players, they kind of give insight and input in different ways that I wouldn't get from always playing with you guys, for example. I'm not saying like I don't dislike playing with you guys.
I hear
it's just
you.
like
I hear you.
it's like different views, and also like the whole masks thing that we did yesterday.
I'm actually gonna cut that up. And even more than I usually do. I'm gonna try to like do something with that and like make little each issue into its own little video.
Yeah, no.
I saw you were streaming yesterday, so I knew you guys were doing something.
It was
Dude, the
so
others
fun.
have really eaten that up.
So anyways, I think everyone's here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So with everyone grouped up together and everyone kind of this whole mustering force, like the Sapphire Keep is filled to the brim with supplies, and thankfully the supplies left by the Rangers is actually being used now. The arrows, the archers, all the magi and the mages have gone into their corner, and they've all done their starts and their rituals, and their lieutenants and their sergeants all come up with you with details and reports and accounts, and you're all ready to move. The whole day today is spent just organizing everything. And go ahead, Baldric. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was gonna say that these orcs are expecting elf rangers. They're not gonna be prepared to deal with Onkeg and cavalry.
Yes.
Dwarves.
That is the idea.
Yeah, well, these guys have been really quick to react, so the one thing that we can expect is that we can't rely on any tactic to, like, have, like, a long life. We're gonna need to be able to react to what they're doing as well.
Alright. So with that,
Let me check my spells real quick before we...
yeah, actually, take a moment to kind of go through the spells, which one you want to keep, which one you want to take. And also think about the list of NPCs you want to bring with you in the portal. As everyone meets together in the central chamber.
Wait, you guys
Here,
want me to
I'll
have,
type up a list, actually, hold on.
You guys want me to have a whole person, right? We like that?
We love that.
I'm gonna be taking teleport, which means I only have 2 levels, which means I might as well take Fireball, since that's like...
Yeah.
It's a level 3, so I've decreased it, so it's more bang for its buck.
Prodigy.
It's the best thing to take with 2 slots. That means I'm going to be super limited until I get a chance to prepare spells. However, we're porting today. We're not really attacking for the next couple of days, so I might be fine. Hey Alex, there's like no way to do long distance communication in this setting, right? That's not like a
Nope.
solved problem. Yeah, I didn't
Well, I
think
mean,
so.
you have missives like you can send to snow owls or owls or
But
they
those can be
communicate with one
intercepted,
another.
and those
They
still
can be
take
they
time.
can be intercepted and they do take time.
Yeah.
There will definitely be a fog of war from where you guys are at. Literal fog of war. So, anyways, as you guys kind of type down the list of your NPCs, everyone kind of meets in the war chamber for one last time. Drugar obviously is just kind of leaning against like the column, eating meat. He's non-stop eating meat. He's got to get his gains, man.
I mean, he's got to, his maximum gains. I know what he means.
Right, and Wesley is there as well. He's took some time to recover, and you notice like a look of determination on his face. In the days that leading up to this, you notice that he's getting a lot more comfortable looking through his third eye. Once again, he does flash his eyes with magic and kind of sense the area. It does tax him quite a bit. He does actually explain this to you guys. He pulls you aside, Taliesin, and actually talks to you specifically. He kind of writes down. Yeah. Pardon?
Yeah, I'm listen. I was typing up the stuff, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he actually pulls you aside and explains to you. The best he can do is provide reconnaissance and scouting. In a fight, he's not that great because in a fight, you want to see everything around you as much as you can.
Yeah, no, he. You should be backing up maybe one of the wizard troops. Then I don't think that you should come with us. Like. And
you notice that he is a little bit sad at that.
I mean, unless he thinks that he can. Well, actually, I don't know. He might actually still be useful.
It's up to you. You make the call. But he does seem. I
want Wesley to basically. I want to like look at Wesley. Like, how does he really look like he's up to this right now?
He looks pretty determined right now. But you're more than welcome to sprout lore about the magic that he's trying to do to get a better picture. Because what he says to you might not be what is best for him, as an example, right? So, was it a 6?
Yeah, it's a 6.
That's a miss. Because you're so close with him, you kind of see more of his face and his expression, so you don't really. It's hard to tell. But he does seem like he still would like to come, at least a supportive role, because he feels like he can make a difference.
Okay, but you gotta stay out of trouble.
And he admits that he's not a fighter at this moment.
Yeah,
and he seems very disappointed. It's a self-realization.
Yeah, I understand. Like I really do, but I just don't want to see you hurt, man.
He nods, and he says, well, he doesn't say, but he gestures, one dance with death is more than enough for me for now, at least.
There'll be plenty of time for that once. I've been talking to Khalgrast. We have some ideas.
And he actually perks him up a little bit. And he explains to you that. Anyways, you continue to type your list, and everyone's there in the war room. All the lieutenants, all the sergeants, and they're all come together. And at the head of the table is Taliesin, Khalgrast, Baldric, and Morgan. And they all look to you.
Hey Alex, the horses count as people, but they don't count as troops for the purposes of teleports, right?
They count as things for teleporting, man.
Oh, they do? Okay.
They do.
I mean, the size of them. If you're going by size, yeah, totally they would.
And we're gonna leave the horses behind.
I mean, it's kind of dumb to have them in a forest anyway.
So that means Iridan's going to count as well, right?
Pardon?
Iridan's going to count as well, right?
Iridan will count as well. You're correct.
Iridan can fly there on his own, at least. He can just meet up with us. It would mean
to separate Morgan and Iridan, though, is
I mean, it would be asking something, but like, what would Iridan say if I said I could take another Ankeg and he could just meet us up like in the next day or so? We're not going to be fighting them, like not until our troops engage anyway.
But you're also asking Iridan to fly through territory currently filled with.
It's your call.
That's Morgan's call.
That's really concerning.
Yeah, sorry, Morgan's call is what I mean.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's concerning. I wouldn't do it, and Morgan probably wouldn't do it either.
Yeah, no, they seem to be attached.
Okay, Iridan.
At least my baggage flies free.
And you just hear like a chuckle at the back of your mind. And by the way, Baldric, after recovering enough time, Sasha is back too. and for the purposes of teleporting, Sasha does not count. So Sasha's back. Sasha kind of gives you a very loving snuggle to your neck as Sasha is back in full form and is, kind of dancing always to the music that you play. But in which case, there's like a hallway and filled.
Someone appreciates it.
Yeah, and Vela just says, "It's been a long time since these halls have been filled by this many people. Bittersweet, although I guess a war room has always been meant to be used in times of war," she says. So, Commander Baldric, what is it that we do?
Well, I think if our men is ready, it's time for us to depart.
And over the day, you would have been like telling the orders and communicating, and all the logistics are kind of settled with.
I also tell her I'll be going, so I'll leave the commanding to you.
And Vela salutes and says, "Of course." And remember the archers, the rangers that you had saved the very first day? They're there
They
too.
need hugs.
They're there to salute you as well. In fact, you gotten quite close with them, and the camaraderie, especially that night where you got them all drunk, even more drunk as normal. So, and you would have heard throughout actually the time in the barracks, all the stories of the might of Khalgrast, the magical powers, just the godlike powers of Taliesin, and just the moon, and like the elves are telling
Morgan going Avatar.
Yeah, Morgan going Avatar. Like they're exchanging stories about the party, and they're stories about just you commanding. One of originally some men who you had. Remember that a small group of men that fought with you at the Battle of the Gates of Dawn?
Mm-hmm.
They are a part of the cavalry now, and they have all made it a point to come up to you and to thank you for saving their lives. And they are telling stories. They have been telling stories about you this entire time, and everyone else has been telling stories. Oh, you're. What
about the other moon dude?
The other moon dude?
No. I mean, I'm sorry. He did Discord, but
Yeah.
I was gonna say, any NPCs that I'm forgetting, you're gonna have to help me out here.
What about Alma?
Oh yeah, okay. I
She
mean,
can
I
place one
basically
of the
just filled
Onkegs.
them out with Onkegs, so we're just replacing them with...
but like that other, the moon guy, the other guy that can do the moon thing that Morgan can do.
Oh no, that is Captain Vela. She
Vela
actually
does that.
is going to be controlling
she's
her
with-
troops.
Yeah.
Gross. Okay.
Unless you were
So-
thinking of the first one, which was Anduin, but we don't know where that guy is.
Oh, that's who I was thinking. The one that had
He's
a
actually
problem
back at
with it.
Silverleaf, I thought.
That
Unless
other
he's
moon
here
guy, he
now.
does not have any moon powers. Specifically,
He has
He's been training
Yeah.
for it or something?
yeah, he had been training for it for a very long time.
Oh,
and
he
Morgan was-
sucks. Okay, never mind.
It would be his
Oh,
elder if
wow.
anybody, if she came with us, but I don't think she's a fighter, so...
No, she definitely not doing that at the moment.
So, I mean, the way it looks, it flew like 3 Onkegs. Again, unless I do the bullshit. How's that other list
They're-
look, just in case?
So the what? Oh, I guess
Just asking everyone else. I'm assuming what is available.
Yep, no, they totally can. Like, they have a squad of men ready to follow you. Absolutely, as a second detachment.
Yep, just in case I can do this.
Right.
Alright, is everybody ready and already prepared to help me? Because we gotta, if we can push this 12, we're in good shit town.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, the Elven
And,
portals is pretty easy for me.
The scene ends with
Yeah.
with everyone kind of nodding and doing the whole Final Fantasy 14 nod to each other, and you see
no.
all the troops. What's up?
One thing I'm gonna do though, before he starts casting, I want to cast Arcane Art on him, so that I'm going to make it to where if someone aids him, he'll get a +2 instead of a +1.
Okay.
But
So you
I'm
should-
also gonna double that, so it'll be a +4.
Hey, so question.
No, doubling means that 2 people can get +2.
I
Okay.
I have a question, actually. I don't
It's all the same,
remember
still plus 4.
if the ruling for the roll 12 thing was you could add to that to get that, or you had to roll a 12 to get that.
Oh yeah, we had a question about that. I mean, I don't see why you shouldn't be able to boost it up. But I certainly don't know what the book says about it.
The book does not, I don't think, is the problem.
wording is specific about it. 1 second. Let's see here. I think what was the ability again? In Greater Empowered Magic?
Yeah, he's using Greater Empowered Magic.
It's a 12 plus, meaning you don't have to roll a 12. It means that you have to get above a 12, so you can buff it past the 12. If it specifically says roll a 12, then you have to roll 6/6.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's small. All the wizard stuff is on a, whatever. Plus.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, well, you were setting the scene, Alex.
Sorry, one sec.
Go ahead.
Okay. Some ice fell into my mouth. So
Delicious.
with all right, that's 2 people can aid with this, just in case things go wrong, or if you want to boost it to the fucking moon, literally. So everyone groups together, and the men and the women, and otherwise, they all go their separate directions. Everyone hails the party, and they all wish each other in their all like. There's a whole slew of cultures at this moment around this table, wishing like the gods or the light or the moon upon you, and you all head up to. All right.
So,
I like how you didn't take Lyle. Like Lyle's like, no, Lyle, you stay with the army. You're not allowed to come with us. You've already
Should I
cost too
put
much
Lyle
issue.
in the second group just to take him?
I mean, it's up to you guys.
Why can't Lyle come with us?
Because then we could take 3 on kegs.
One of the young kids is going to be Morgan's son, by the way.
Let's say I didn't write baby on keg, or rather I did, but then I erased it. Because like, well, maybe, but maybe we want to take full-grown on kegs instead, unless he counts.
He counts as a full-grown on keg.
Okay, good. Then absolutely, there's no question we're taking him. Here, I will post this list. And fine, we'll take Lyle either way.
Okay.
Wait, is Roscoe coming as well?
Roscoe doesn't count. Roscoe is in cat form right now. Can wrap around Amma. Because out of character, Roscoe is a druid as well.
Is he?
Don't forget druid. Yeah, Roscoe is also a druid. Because magic shit, And Drugar looks over the Khalgrast and says, second time I fight orcs with you.
Oh, that just butchered all of that message. Completely worthless posting it here.
And
I think we got a kinship fight in our own kind.
listen, do you want to keep score?
Is that even a question?
It does the fist against you. It says, you may have won last time by a couple hundred, but this time, I am
Come on.
I mean, Drugar
Oh,
loves you,
god
man.
damn it.
Drugar loves you, man. There's something
God
just...
damn it, we can't let him die.
Oh, he's not gonna die. I'm gonna
it's
raise
that one
him.
scene. It's that one scene in FMA Brotherhood where Armstrong meets the husband, and they just have their moment all the time, every time. It's exactly like that.
I haven't seen that, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Damn.
We're thinking of the Lord of the
But I know
Rings.
who Armstrong is, so
I can just infer
that's
enough from
already
that.
good. Yeah, I
I
know
can
who
just infer.
Armstrong is, so that's already good enough for me.
Okay, so in which case,
right.
we all head up.
Yeah.
And do you cast a spell?
Yeah, I think we're ready. So, all the troops have been given their orders. They're probably all like getting ready to watch out. Maybe there's some like people in the back like watching us. We're standing out right here. Let me actually pull the thing up. Right.
Are you staying all there? Okay.
Oh, I'm trying to find a place where I liked, but I didn't really. Yeah, we'll just stand right here. Yeah, down here.
You can make like the portal into the waterfall, and everyone walks into the waterfall.
Yeah, I was actually gonna have us cross over the river, and we'll be on the other side of a stream that is near the watchtower.
Okay.
That would be the.
So-
I don't remember the 7-word phrase, but let's just say that it references the stream nearby. Like
Yeah, I mean, it references
a
the-
specific like rock or tree
Yep.
that was significant to the person who gave us the thing.
Absolutely. That is 100% okay.
Okay.
Wait, I'm confused. Oh, no, wait, the doors are meeting us there. Okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
doors are meeting us
I
there.
remember now.
Okay. Take a deep breath. Well, it went better last time. Hey, somebody give me a hand, and then there's no penalties to this.
And Baldric is playing all the music, giving Morgan and Khalgrast the +2 on your help.
Hey. Okay, I will, hold on.
Keep in mind, the spell is Shadow Walk, so I mean, it's probably not hard for you to flavor something.
It's really, really
Oh,
not.
no, for me, I've already done it before, yeah. Boss can easily, like, handle that.
Hold on, and the portal opens up right here.
Well, like I said, it's less of a portal and just more of like a mirage effect over the stream.
Gotcha.
Hey.
Jesus!
Well, that's an 18.
Oh.
Double sixes. So you get 13 on that.
Okay, well then, yeah, that's enough to just. I'm gonna double it. So.
Yeah, you totally double it, and you just hear at the back of your mind, Khalgrast, and he says, "You really do trust this wizard, don't you?"
Oh god, I forgot you were here.
Look, sometimes I have my own damon things to do on my own time. I was very busy handling things on my end, okay?
I don't want to know about handling your end.
Oh, I'm gonna totally tell you about this later. All night, you won't be able to sleep.
I
Okay,
never do
Alex.
anyway.
You can refer to Discord for the full list of the
I
the
know,
NPC
I
troops.
see it.
Yeah.
I will add that in later.
Yeah. I figure we're getting near the end of the session.
Yeah, we are.
Mhm.
So with that, the portal opens and everyone moves together. This is all the people. I'm not missing anyone, right?
Probably.
No, this is everyone. And you find yourselves walking into the mirage.
Except for
One by one.
Tokens for you.
Yeah. In a bit of a blink and darkness wafting over everyone, you find yourself eventually coming across an abandoned watchtower. As you come in here. Go ahead and do this for you.
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Perfect.
In the watchtower here, your moments to relax and to reprieve before who knows however long the next battle is going to be. It could be your last ones. But everyone here understands that this is a threat much greater than their own lives. As you're able to transport over the other squad, the young kids immediately come through and they burrow in and they start to scout. And your son there, Morgan, also does the same. It's been a while since he's been around his kin. Much to catch up on.
Like a stream back
Much to
here.
learn. And there's a stream back there, yeah. Yeah, you can draw that in for me. I'll put on the
Oh
map
right,
later.
I forgot how the drawing works for Roll20. So like, I thought I was drawing a lot, and I actually was drawing nothing.
Well,
So that's cool.
But
Okay, I did it.
all right,
No, I didn't.
go ahead and move where you want to go before we close off the session with everyone kind of taking one last deep breath of the last moment of reprieve before probably a very long, very, very hard fight for you guys.
Is the watchtower occupied?
No, it's empty.
Then we're probably gonna occupy it.
Yep.
And
The supplies,
get
you
on
also
the
bring
lookout.
supplies.
Yeah.
you're
We're
able
setting
to-
up camp.
We should do a lookout for the dwarves.
Yep, that's the plan.
Yep, and actually, we'll end the session after the dwarves come, as you see familiar faces that you have seen before. 1 second. Here we go. About another 12 dwarves come from the forest.
On
But
hogs.
No, they're not. No, I'm saving infernal hogs for later. Okay.
Oh my god.
But anyways, you see 3 familiar faces coming in, but one of them is missing. As they walk in with about 9 other dwarves, and they come in and says, "Khalgrast, are you there?" Mughal speaks up,
I'm right here, Mughal.
and let's move everyone else here. And Lugar is actually standing right next to you and says, "These dwarves give you trouble? You need me to break their skulls? I do that for you."
I'll think about that. Your offer is appreciated.
And Harold is, has been pretty tight-lipped most of this time, does step by and walk up to the party and says, "Sorry for leaving you guys earlier. Took some time thinking, but I think you inspired a old heart in my own," he says. So he pats you all on the shoulder. "I still expect pay, though," and he goes off.
Here, I thought he was a good person.
He can have spoils.
Yeah, he's asking for spoils. His condition will change for working for you guys.
Yeah,
But loyalty is a hell of a thing. And Mugar steps forward and says, "I want you to know, Khalgrast, I did vouch for you."
I suppose that's why they agreed to let me fight in this.
I understand when sometimes a dwarf needs to finish what he started. And the man before him, you didn't talk with him much, but for some reason he's here, and Viser, who was the purifier, is no longer with them. The man comes up and says, "Well, against my better intentions, you're still alive, but we can't always get what we want." And you notice something, Khalgrast. You know how the three factions work, right? And how I think they're the Iron Spear. Satine, who is Mugar's sister, they're Iron Spear. And Khalgrast, there's a sinking pit in your stomach as you look behind, and the 9 men behind, who you forgot his name. 1 second while I pick up his name.
But I know who it is.
Oh, I know who you know what their insignia means. And they all have golden scale marks on their shoulders. And they all look at you.
Yeah.
And Mugar says, "We are set to stay back and not assist in the fighting, only to bring you back after the fighting is done. But that is the coward's way. You have my axe," he says. And Satine walks up and says, "And my crossbow." "God, why do you gotta be so dramatic all the time, Mugar?" Goes him in the back. And the golden scale dwarf behind him says, well, fine. The both of you can do what you need, but we will remember the mission. And Khalgrast, you are to come back with us after the fighting is done immediately. Do you understand?
Oh.
That's the plan.
Oh,
I cut him off.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
I walk up over here.
Yep.
And introduce myself. Hello, I'm Taliesin.
You met all.
Yeah. I believe we met. I introduced myself to the other gentleman. I'm Taliesin, Khalgrast's attorney.
Yay.
Oh god, a super-powered magical attorney, amazing. And all right, guys.
Best legal defense.
With that, we will close off the session.
The best legal defense is a magical.
And I'll see you guys next week for consistent playing again. Hooray!
Hell yeah.
Session stuff.
You're correct, and the session
yeah.
stuff. Before I forget. Uno momento.
I don't even care about leveling anymore. I'm already really powerful.
Not only that, like it's just.
I want more spells. I want more spells.
I mean, also, I would like to think that you guys are invested into the narrative and the story.
Yeah, like it's. Because we don't fight every time, so I get less XP, but it doesn't really matter.
Because everyone's at that
Turns
power
out.
spike point where, like, I'm already a fucking god, fighting a god, but,
I mean, I've kind of been there since, like, level 1.
Yeah, that's true.
Fair.
Anyways, end of session. Did we learn something new and important about the world? Yes.
Yes.
Did we overcome a No, just one experience, because you don't have treasure. Unless you consider the treasure a friendship, which is not a treasure.
Could the treasure be the army we amassed?
You know what?
I
You know what? Yes.
I think we actually did, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that counts.
That's a fair point. Baldric and Morgan bringing back a fucking 7,000 army strong. That's definitely treasure. Because I mean, that's plus 2 XP for everyone, guys. And if you do have enough to level, there is definitely some downtime here. Well, I have to set up everything for the coming 3 sessions.
Oh yeah, really glad we didn't, go into the fight this time.
Honestly, it's just a lot of lines, converging.
Boy, I can't wait to get full plate.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Alright, that was fun, guys. It's really fun. Got
Just prepare to do no damage to Khalgrast ever with physical
Ever.
damage.
yeah, seriously?
Like 8 armor, are you serious?
Wait, where is Wesley? Oh wait, no, that's who I forgot. That's what was missing. Let me just find Wesley on a different fucking plane of existence here. Alright, cool beans. I'll catch you guys next week.
Hell yeah.
Later, man.
Good night, guys.